Guiding the prince of the Black Dao Temple, the man was kidnapped. From then on, not only did he have the close surveillance of a handsome killer, but he was also forced to become the dangerous double of the Black Dao Prince. While delivering food, Yan Shuzhou was inexplicably kidnapped. They tore off the black cloth covering his eyes. It is really the prince of the Heavenly Book Society. Did not expect to fall into our hands, did you? Yan Shuzhou was stunned. You got the wrong person. I am just a food delivery guy. The other party sized him up and snorted coldly, then pressed him hard to the ground. Stop pretending. If your dad does not pay $1 million tonight, I can't guarantee what will happen to you. You can check my phone orders, gold in hand. The subordinate saw the food delivery order. You really caught the wrong person. Yan Shuzhou still had a part-time job at night, but the other party, knowing they had caught the wrong person, refused to let him go. After all, it would be too embarrassing to admit their mistake. Yan Shuzhou had a strong survival instinct. Let me go, or just take me in, he pleaded. He desperately tried to think of something to negotiate with, but the more anxious he got, the harder it was to come up with anything. But the knife was already coming at him. Bad luck for you, he thought, trying to find some redeeming qualities in himself. In the end, the falling knife was knocked away, and the man easily dealt with the two thugs. Yan Shuzhou was stunned. The man. So handsome. Even the Grim Reaper seems to hire based on looks now. No, this is not the time for random thoughts. Trying to appear calm, he forced a couple of awkward laughs and said, Hey, handsome, where did you learn those moves? Haha, that was amazing. Savior, hero, I get it. I did not see anything today, I swear. As the man approached, Yan Shuzhou panicked. No matter how good-looking he was still a living king of hell. Who knows what his intentions were? Survival was the priority. But instead, the man began to carefully examine him. What is he doing? Why does it feel like he is inspecting me like livestock? Yan thought. He killed those two people earlier, so it seems I might be next. I need to stall for time. Giving up now would mean dying without dignity. Suddenly, his clothes were pulled open, and Yan Shuzhou panicked. What? What are you doing? He thought, breathing. Shadows. He is alive, but in every other way. He seems more like a ghost than a person. Let us talk this out. Do not take off your clothes. I have never been in a relationship. I can't end up soaked in such a ridiculous place. The man knocked him out with a karate chop. After Yan Shuzhou completely lost consciousness, the man caught him and muttered, so noisy. Because he looked strikingly similar to the underworld prince. He was kidnapped and completely entangled with a cold-blooded handsome man. When Yan Shuzhou woke up, he felt a sharp pain in his neck. Thankfully, he was still alive. Damn, that guy's strike was ruthless. Does he really think I am? I survived today, but just wait. One day, I will get my revenge. He looked up and realized the surroundings were unfamiliar. Where is this place? Damn it. Wait, there is someone lying on the bed. Could this person have fallen like I did? But they look a bit pale. Not very skilled, yet, the man's lifelike skin made him panic. So, am I actually dead? Is this my corpse? Suddenly, a voice behind him interrupted his thoughts. Pretty similar. What do you think? His appearance is convincing enough to pass as real, said the older man, staring at Yan Shuzhou. But his demeanor is far off. For a moment, I thought Achin had come back to life. The other man added, he can practice. His physique is just right. I have checked, and he resembles him a lot. Yan Shuzhou was stunned. Who is Achin? What do you mean? Come back to life? Am I dead or not? The older man touched his wrist and introduced himself. I am the president of the Heavenly Book Society. My son was assassinated yesterday, and the killer has yet to be caught. Hearing about the Tian Shu Society made Yan Shuzhou even more nervous. It is said to be the largest gang in the area. Come to think of it, those two kidnappers mentioned it earlier too. Rumor has it that the Tian Shu Society has influence both in the underworld and the legitimate world, from business circles to politics. But how could someone like me, a law-abiding teacher and good citizen, get involved with a gang? The man revealed his purpose. I need to use you to lure out the real culprit. From now on, you are my son, K. Rongchen. Yan Shuzhou wanted to refuse immediately, but he did not dare. Big brother, I am just a worker. I will take any job as long as it pays. Whatever you want to do, we can talk it out. But I have a part-time job tonight. Let me finish that and I will come back. He noticed the man staring silently at the unconscious young master on the bed. Yan Shuzhou thought the man's silence meant he agreed, so he prepared to sneak away. But before he could, a hand grabbed his neck. You heard what I said, did not you? Yan Shuzhou could clearly feel the threat pressing against his neck. One wrong move and he would die. He had never felt this kind of clarity before. Warm breath sprayed on his face as the man spoke, chilling words. If you run, this will snap. All because he looked like the young master's double. Every day, he was forced to endure the close attention of a handsome but deadly bodyguard. And the deceased young master, K. Rongchen of the Tian Shu Society, was a demon who rose to power by stepping over corpses. He thrives on seeing people in chaos and fear, like a child tearing the wings off a butterfly. He enjoys taking away what others hold dear and discarding it like trash. His name is the nightmare of the entire underworld. At this moment, Yan Shuzhou, forced to act as his stand-in, was overwhelmed. To imitate Cologne Cheng's signature, he had no idea how many sheets of paper he had wasted. Big brother, I am telling you, enough is enough. I am not some calligraphy master. The signature just needs to look close enough. Shenji pressed his head against the desk and did not even glance at his bruised and battered face. But when he saw that pen, his expression instantly darkened. That pen had once been deeply stabbed into the back of his hand. It was personally driven in by that arrogant prince. Aji, tell me, where did you hide that little cat? Even though Shenji was in excruciating pain, trembling all over, he still remained silent. Cologne Cheng grabbed his chin. Still not crying, why are you like a lifeless doll, so boring? What if I ruin one of your hands? After all, dogs do not need to know how to write. It was not until the man reminded him, young master, sir has ordered that he cannot be harmed, that Cologne Cheng finally let him go. Fine. Why are you protecting that kid so much? Could he be the old man's illegitimate son? If that is the case, he definitely needs to be eliminated. The man unexpectedly became the prince of the underworld, yet he was bullied daily by a beautiful southern assassin. Just because he did not want to practice, Yan Shunzhou almost had his hand ruined by Shenji with a pen. However, the old pen in the drawer brought back painful memories for Shenji. It was not until Yan Shunzhou's voice reached him that he snapped out of it. Shenji held the pen with a malicious expression. I attacked him unconsciously, seeing him still living under the shadow of Kolongcheng. Yan Shunzhou instinctively grabbed his shoulder. Shenji, Kolongcheng is dead. I am Yan Shunzhou. This made Shenji suddenly freeze, then he reacted directly. Yan Shunzhou tried to talk to him calmly. You saved my life that day. I thought we could at least coexist peacefully. Shenji no longer showed any emotion. You will eventually become Kolongcheng, whether you want to or not. While treating his wound, Yan Shunzhou leaned in and lowered his voice. It seems that although Kolongcheng is dead, his rules are still strangling your neck. Shenji stopped talking to him. Yan Shunzhou quietly observed him. Except for the scratch he just gave me, whether it was a good deed or a provocation, he showed no emotional fluctuations like a robot. It seems escaping from the tiger might not be that easy. Shenji, Yan Shunzhou obediently asked where to go next. Shenji glanced at him expressionlessly. To crash a wedding. Yan Shunzhou did not have time to react. Shenji directly picked out an outfit and threw it to him. This outfit looked familiar to him. It turns out that the person who asked him to bring the Valentino limited edition a month ago was the prince. This damned fate, just because he resembled the mafia prince. Not only was he forced by the southern killer to act as the prince, now he is also forced to crash a wedding at another mafia boss's wedding. Yan Shunzhou was startled. Shenji, with a cold expression, had already announced a week ago that he would challenge the heir of the Ming Tian group, Luo. Hearing this, Shenji's gaze turned icy. You better pray it works, because that is the only value you have. Yan Shunzhou asked what would happen if he failed. Shenji, expressionless, said something terrifying. Luo Kai likes to use human bones as ashtrays. I will send your corpse to him. Yan Shunzhou froze, his entire body stiff, even forgetting how to breathe. Shenji seemed intrigued. You're breathing. You understand it now. Why? Yan Shunzhou gritted his teeth. In just 2 days, I have been kidnapped, seen dead bodies, and gotten involved with the mob. Who could stay calm after all that? Shenji suddenly leaned closer. You can do it. Startled, Yan Shunzhou immediately backed away. He really could, because he was no longer calm. Shenji casually pulled out a cigarette and lighter. Yan Shunzhou touched the back of his neck, looking flustered. Seriously, now I have to learn how to smoke too. Shenji was surprised that he did not know how. Yan Shunzhou muttered something about wanting to live a few more years but still obediently took out a cigarette. Shenji, you actually hate K. Rongcheng, do not you? Shenji did not answer. Here, light my cigarette. Yan Shunzhou held the cigarette close and said, I am just a worker. I know how to play along. Shenji, you always look at me like I am dead and teach me how to live. Shenji repeated his demand to light the cigarette. But Yan Shunzhou suddenly chuckled, tossed the lighter aside, and refused. Shenji lazily leaned in front of Yan Shunzhou. I laugh at you because you do not know how to ask for help. He then lowered his head and used his own cigarette to light Yan's, standing up with a smug look. How about that? Pretty similar to him. Right, can I be a stand-in for someone trying to quit smoking? It is not because it is hard, I just do not want you to hate me. You hate cigarette butts, right? Shenji ignored him again and looked out the window. The car is here. After Shenji opened the door for him, Yan Shunzhou asked again, aren't you afraid I will mess it up? Shenji's cold eyes were full of confidence. No, I am here. The dignified prince of the mafia was pushed down by the handsome assassin serving him. Yan Shunzhou was taken by Shenji to an ordinary place where he was stripped of his expensive coat. Yan Shunzhou was stunned, and by the time he reacted, he was left in just his boxer shorts. Shenji turned and walked into the store. Size XL shirt, 33 waist pants. Feeling weak and helpless, Yan Shunzhou quickly used a curtain to cover himself. Why did you suddenly strip me? What if someone comes in? I still need to find a partner in the future. Shenji, while picking out clothes for him, mocked Yan Shunzhou. No one wants you. Yan Shunzhou, besides being furiously helpless, could only cooperate obediently. Shen Ji brought the clothes and personally helped him put them on. Yan Shunzhou felt a bit embarrassed. Let me do it myself. Suddenly, he noticed a mole on his back. Shen Ji abruptly pulled out a pair of scissors. This mole is a bit troublesome. Yan Shunzhou immediately shrank his shoulders. I think laser treatment might still save it, he said. Shen Ji sized up Yan Shunzhou's figure. Better than cologne, he remarked, but this part is bigger. Yan Shunzhou could not help but feel a bit smug. Seeing Shen Ji pull out the scissors as if to snip it off, Yan Shunzhou quickly turned his back to him in a defensive posture. You can't cut this, he exclaimed, suddenly remembering he had something to ask. But as he looked up, he was distracted by Shen Ji's neckline. What does this guy eat to have such good skin, he wondered. Wow, he thought, snapping back to reality. Crap, I forgot what I was going to ask. Feeling guilty, he snatched the scissors away. Don't point the tip of the scissors at someone's eyes. You are not a very professional Tony, he said. Shen Ji traced his finger across his neck. My profession is taking lives. You can try me. Yan Shunzhou, spineless, handed the scissors back to him with both hands. I fully support every assassin cultivating hobbies like hairdressing in their spare time, he said. Enhance creativity through practice, increase happiness in life. Yan Shunzhou finally remembered what he wanted to say. I was just about to say, show me the video of cologne weighing, I can pretend better. I know you guys on the road. It was not long before he was discovered. Yan Shunzhou blushed. When Shen Ji got up, he suppressed the excitement in his heart. He was working for cologne weighing. If something went wrong, cologne weighing would not save him. Shen Ji explained expressionlessly, Luo Kai liked his beauty. If they got married, he could escape punishment. This is what cologne weighing said about it. Who told him to marry another man? What is Luo Kai, trying to run without getting the information? Dream on. My things, even in death, are mine. This made Yan Shunzhou very angry. He did not just lose his name, nor did he let him teach himself. What right does he have to control other people's lives? Shen Ji suddenly grabbed his chin and turned his face straight. Yan Shunzhou asked him if he did not find the video disgusting, but Shen Ji only said, survival of the fittest is the rule of the underground world. Yan Shunzhou did not agree with this. What rules does this little girl deserve to be misunderstood? Shen Ji turned his chair in the direction he wanted, silent. No one cared about Jian Ru's emotions, nor did anyone care about yours. 2 hours later, we need to be at the manor. I have already been threatened. Dead people. The coldness in Shen Ji's gaze made Yan Shunzhou feel the same as calm. When Shen Ji withdrew his hand, Yan Shunzhou suddenly grabbed his wrist. HMPH, before making demands. You need to wag your tail at me first, ah Ji. At that moment, Shen Ji seemed to see K. Rongchun, and his face instantly showed fear. Yan Shunzhou froze awkwardly in place. What kind of reaction is this? So, Mr. Shen, how's your teaching, is it going well? Shen Ji, regaining his composure, mercilessly turned him around and continued styling his hair. After finishing the look, Yan Shunzhou changed into a suit. He looked almost identical to K. Rongchun. Trying to act cool, he wanted Shen Ji's praise, but instead, as expected, something came to mind, and he suddenly called out to Shen Ji. He strode over to Shen Ji and put an exquisite brooch on him. I can't be the only one changing my look, right? Next up, the show begins. The seemingly cold and ruthless gang prince is actually afraid of his wife. Now he is on someone else's turf, and Yan Shunzhou is being forced to snatch a bride by Shen Ji. As soon as the car reaches the manor gate, they are stopped. You can't go in directly. Yan Shunzhou assumes the prince's demeanor. HMPH, call Luo Kai and see if he dares to hide from me. In the surveillance, Luo Qi's golden weapon, K. Rongchun, really arrives. The word on the street is that this week, Yan Shunzhou entertained Yan Shunzhou, following Luo Xiao's orders. K. Xiao's grand arrival, we are overwhelmed. Please go through the security check. Suddenly, the scanner alarms. Yan Shunzhou nonchalantly says, just a belt buckle, but Li Lingqi pulls out a gun from his clothes. K. Xiao, what is the meaning of this? Batch inspection, it is the seafood K. Xiao received at Tonglu Bay on the 15th of last month, right? This puts Yan Shunzhou in an awkward position. He whispers to Shen Ji, doing it so blatantly is too arrogant. What does seafood mean? Shen Ji, expressionless, explains that seafood means guns. Li Ling, sit down. Yan Shunzhou looks like he is about to shoot. What a pity. Luo Kai ran over in a panic to stop him. Wait, my men did not know it was you. Please show mercy. Don't let there be bloodshed before the wedding even starts. Just thinking about inviting this king of hell into his home made Luo Qi's heart sink. Yan Shunzhou put away his gun and asked who was being disrespectful. To appease him, Luo Kai had to admit it was his own fault, and after smiling apologetically, he personally delivered it to him. Yan Shunzhou wanted to let it go, but Shen Ji kept pointing at him with his finger, and finally gave him a hard pinch, causing Yan Shunzhou to twist in pain. So he had no choice but to continue pestering Luo Kai. Under the Ultraman jacket, no one dared to move. How could they let you drag us here? So everyone who was blocking Yan Shunzhou stripped off their clothes, Even Luo Kai himself took off his jacket. When the car started, Luo Kai wiped his sweat and spoke harshly to the car's exhaust. Fine, you win. We will see. At this moment, in the car behind Yan Shunzhou, a man started the car and said, I slipped up. He is still alive, said Kai Long. A cold-blooded killer afraid of raising sheep. Just when Yan Shunzhou finally thought he seemed human, Shen Ji suddenly stabbed himself in the waist with a knife. Previously, a car was on the ground. Seeing him so devastated, Shen Ji expressionlessly said, You can call the police and arrest me. Of course, Yan Shunzhou did not dare to, so he had to change the subject. By the way, how was my performance just now? When I mentioned that divine paper, there was finally a slight change in his expression. Cologne enjoys observing the fear and pain of others. With a sudden move, Yan Shunzhou fell. When he tried to get up, a gun was already pressed against his temple. Yan Shunzhou was so nervous that he was trembling. To make matters worse, the divine paper deliberately turned off the safety. But he would not threaten others with a gun that had the safety off. I do not know what you are relieved about. You are covered in wounds. With the gun pointed at his vital point, Yan Shunzhou quickly begged for mercy. I do not know how to use a gun, but give me time and I can learn. Can you not point it there? He could not help but feel humiliated. He kept staring at me. Are you jealous of me? Did you want to bend me during the creation process? In fact, the divine paper only saw this as a fatal flaw of the substitute execution. When they reached the guest room arranged by the Luo family, Yan Shunzhou had just sent away the staff. The divine paper immediately started giving him orders. Body coordination, expressions. I learned social dancing at school. This reminded Yan Shunzhou of the dances he often encountered in college. Looking at the university dance party in front of him, Yan Shunzhou's eyes were filled with envy. But he was there to deliver milk tea. Because he was so handsome, many girls approached him. You look familiar. Have I seen you in Professor Song's class? I borrowed your notes last semester. But why did not you come to the exam? The reminder for the late delivery rang, and Yan Shunzhou had to leave empty-handed. I still have orders to deliver, I will go first. Contact me next time for errands, I will give you a discount. When Yan Shunzhou came back to his senses, Shen Ji had already extended his hand toward him. He softly called his name and said, Come here. Yan Shunzhou took his hand. Under Shen Ji's guidance, he started learning the partner dance. But when he touched Shen Ji, he could not help overthinking. Shen Ji's body temperature seemed to always be lower than normal, and his palms felt so cold. Suddenly, Shen Ji lifted his chin. You are distracted. Yan Shunzhou's face turned red, and he stammered, No, I am not. Shen Ji continued teaching. As he leaned closer to Yan Shunzhou, he pressed further, Your pulse does not lie. Yan Shunzhou had no choice but to awkwardly change the subject. When Luo Kai apologized earlier, I did not plan to hold a grudge. Why did you want me to keep giving him a hard time? I have no interest in watching a group of burly men in floral shorts. Shen Ji told him, No one will thank you for stopping halfway. You are still pretending not to lie. Yan Shunzhou panicked and grabbed his wrist. What are you doing? Are you crazy? Shen Ji expressionlessly pushed him away. Exposing your weaknesses is equivalent to suicide. Yan Shunzhou could not help but retort. You call fear a weakness, everyone is afraid of something. As he spoke, he confiscated the knife. Only after taking off his shirt did he realize how deep the wound was. Yan Shunzhou could not help but exclaim, You went this hard on yourself. This is the first time I have met someone like you. Shen Ji, expressionless, responded to his words, A monster, right? Yan Shunzhou immediately corrected him, Who said that about you? You are not a monster. He then recalled all the moments he had spent with Shen Ji. Yan Shunzhou thought to himself, He is actually a pretty good person. Shen Ji seemed to believe him. While saying thank you, he began tying up his hair. Yan Shunzhou carefully treated his wound and said, By the way, Shen Ji, are not professional assassins on TV usually depicted with short hair, they say long hair leaves traces at the scene. Shen Ji confidently interrupted him, Not me. I am stronger than that. His brilliance left Yan Shunzhou momentarily stunned. Come to think of it, Yan Shunzhou just realized that Shen Ji was ticklish at his waist. Does that mean no one had ever touched him there before? Suddenly, a servant pushed in a dining cart. Dinner is served. Please enjoy your meal. The sight of the lavish spread on the table instantly captured all of Yan Shunzhou's attention. Before he could dodge, he was placed back on the table by Shen Ji. Yan Shunzhou was unwilling to give up. Will eating it kill me? Shen Ji told him that the snail snake would not inject lethal venom, but it would make him unable to attend the wedding banquet. Yan Shunzhou did not want to stay hungry until the wedding banquet. Shen Ji offered to cook, but before that, he asked Yan Shunzhou to draw a map from the manor to their current location. As a former delivery man for Jintai, Yan Shunzhou was confident. 2 hours passed, and Yan Shunzhou was so hungry he felt weak in his limbs. Suddenly, Shen Ji pushed out a dining table. An excited Yan Shunzhou was about to pounce on the food, but Shen Ji insisted on checking the map first. Yan Shunzhou was confident. How is it? Terrain, landmarks, distances, everything's there. Not bad, right? Shen Ji, expressionless, pointed out the flaws. No blind spots in surveillance, patrol routes, Yan Shunzhou immediately retorted, that is not something maps are supposed to include. Besides, how could I observe so much in such a short time? But Shen Ji accurately listed the details. There are 3 surveillance blind spots, including the East Corridor. The guards patrol every 40 minutes. The Western Yan district has the weakest security. You need to learn dynamic threat assessment. It is a basic spatial intelligence skill. At this point, Yan Shunzhou started doubting whether Shen Ji was even human. No matter what, he just wanted to eat. Shen Ji, however, directly threatened him, either draw the map, or I will beat you until you draw the map. But with one misstep, Yan Shunzhou ended up pinning Shen Ji down. Their noses almost touched. Yan Shunzhou. Shen Ji, predicting threats is not my job, it is yours. I do not know what habits Cologne Cheng has, but drawing maps definitely is not one of them. He died from an assassination, and my job is to be a good partner, not a grumpy mapmaker. Shen Ji never expected him to use what he was taught against him. Yan Shunzhou got up and headed straight to the dining table. Let us stop here. This is your first time teaching someone, and it is my first time being a stand-in. Let us not make things hard for each other. But after he got angry over a bite of food, he felt very guilty. At least he could eat now. However, seeing the dark cuisine on the plate, Yan Shunzhou felt, for the first time, that his life was miserable. Still, he forced himself to eat it. I know you are teaching me all this to help me survive, even if it is just for the mission. Thanks, Shen Ji. To this, Shen Ji only replied, naive. Yan Shunzhou rummaged under the dining cart pushed by the tester. He was surprised to be thanked. Not completely brainless, after eating Shen Ji's cooking, Yan Shunzhou felt completely out of sorts. Before he could even wipe his mouth, Shen Ji interrupted him. Something fell from the bottom of the dining cart. Yan Shunzhou and Shen Ji looked at the note together. The note read, Cologne Cheng has mastered the sword ever since becoming the mafia prince. He gets pushed around every day, yet he somehow fell for the person doing it to him. Yan Shunzhou finally had his moment in the spotlight in front of Shen Ji. His perfect cooking skills won over Shen Ji. Just one bite of the noodles was enough. Shen Ji widened her beautiful eyes in surprise and immediately began eating voraciously. Yan Shunzhou, despite receiving praise, felt a little disappointed. Speaking of which, the content of that threatening note was pretty straightforward. Who could it be, Luo Kai or some other enemy? Shen Ji thought about it, but even 5 fingers were not enough to count them all. Yan Shunzhou was shocked by this. Shen Ji handed him the empty plate. The range of enemies was too broad to be meaningful. At a crowded wedding, the target could only be someone present. She then asked him to serve another bowl of noodles. Yan Shunzhou, still stunned, took the plate and said, you eat way too fast. Little did he know, Shen Ji could go a week without eating to conceal her identity. It is necessary for missions. I am used to it. Yan Shunzhou eagerly prepared another serving for her. Eating like this is just too dead, or those who want him dead. All know he is still alive. Disrupt their formation. Yan Shunzhou became furious upon realizing it. Isn't this a suicide mission? You really do not care if I live or die. I thought you and that old man were just venting. Before he could finish, a fork was pointed at Yan Shunzhou's artery. Shen Ji's gaze was terrifyingly cold. No disrespect to the teacher. There won't be a next time. After saying that, he threw the fork and turned to leave, but Yan Shunzhou could not help feeling sad. I thought our relationship had improved. Yan Shunzhou was on the balcony at night, feeling the breeze. You should get some sleep. Shen Ji's sudden voice startled him, making his head ache. Can't sleep, came up to get some air. What about you? Can't sleep either. Shen Ji said he does not need much sleep. Yan Shunzhou was still thinking about the afternoon. I thought you were still mad at me for what I said. Shen Ji's face remained stern. You do not have that much of an impact. Don't worry. Yan Shunzhou felt hurt again, but he still tried to keep the conversation going. I used to deliver food in the brightest part of the city. There was a 24-hour tea restaurant there with amazing pineapple buns. It is 3 a.m., and there are still so many people. See that tallest building? I used to go there often. And that pier at dawn, the pier gets chaotic. The workers love ordering char siu rice with double eggs. But the conversation was interrupted by Shen Ji. Yan Shunzhou was shocked when he realized Shen Ji had touched his hand. Shen Ji comforted him, telling him not to be nervous. Yan Shunzhou blushed and looked at him. Then Shen Ji said fiercely, if the mission fails, I will kill them all. No information will leak. On the day of the wedding, Yan Shunzhou still showed up, despite his reluctance. Sure enough, many people were shocked that he was still alive. A woman suddenly stopped him. Kei Xiao, last time you promised to dance with me. Don't try to deny it. Yan Shunzhou instinctively glanced at Shen Ji, suddenly remembering he was pretending to be Kei Rongcheng. So he stepped forward and held the woman's waist, but his gaze kept sneaking toward Shen Ji's direction. He suddenly recalled Shen Ji's words. You are distracted. Yan Shunzhou snapped back to reality and said, number. The woman dancing with him snorted jealously. Where did this vixen come from to steal Kei Xiao away? Yan Shunzhou could not help but complain inwardly, vixen, more like the king of hell. Why am I thinking about him again? He could not resist sneaking another glance at Shen Ji. Yan Shunzhou has a bold guess. Could it be that I am falling for that guy? They kissed. The cold-faced killer in drag actually initiated a kiss. The fake prince is completely unsettled now. Shen Ji adjusts Yan Shunzhou's tie. Yan Shunzhou is not only stiff but also does not dare to look at him. Shen Ji still has that indifferent face. Now look into my eyes. Shen Ji's gaze, however, is directed behind him. Retracting his gaze, he asks Yan Shunzhou if he understands. Yan Shunzhou tries to recall for a long time but actually does not see anything. Finally, he shakes his head. You glance behind me. Shen Ji tells him that gaze movement is not random. All micro-expressions are manifestations of internal cognitive processes. By clearly directing one's gaze and controlling facial muscle groups, important information can be conveyed. Yan Shunzhou does not understand, so Shen Ji rephrases. By clearly directing one's gaze, one can silently invite the other to focus on the same point in space. Combined with micro-expressions, it can indicate safety, threats, targets, etc. Yan Shunzhou finally gets it. So it is like giving you a look to figure it out yourself. Shen Ji tells him that at the banquet, he not only needs to pay attention to the target but also to other states. He needs to control his own gaze and learn to read others as well. After a series of grueling tasks, Yan Shunzhou believed he had developed PTSD from the devilish training. He was not a masochist, so how could he possibly be attracted to that guy? Yan Shunzhou suddenly realized the sacred paper was missing. As he looked around, he noticed something they were communicating with their eyes. They were too good at this. It was as if they were guarding something or waiting for a signal for the ceremony. But here it was Yan Shunzhou suddenly picked up a flower. The flower's stem and petal edges were already wet and curled, not like a freshly picked flower for an important ceremony, but more like a prop left out for half a day. Yan Shunzhou immediately adjusted his expression and observed. Something was definitely wrong. With the sacred paper missing, he pulled out his gun and aimed it at the nearest staff member. The guy only stammered out the name Liu Bei. Where's the real wedding? Sharing joy is better than enjoying it alone. The man pretended not to know. Yan Shunzhou threatened him, or would you prefer a more relaxed job? Like lying here, the man panicked and immediately revealed that the real wedding was being held in the hall at the back. At that moment, the priest was asking the bride and groom if they were willing to be together. Before the bride could speak, Yan Shunzhou directly pushed open the hall doors. His gaze was sharp. Seeing him, Nate Kelochi panicked instantly. Now everyone believed that Cologne Chun was still alive. Everyone thought Luo Kai was done for. Luo Kai frantically called for his bodyguards, but none of them stepped forward. Yan Shunzhou firmly grasped the bride's wrist. He effortlessly pulled her into his arms. He quickly scanned the surroundings. Shen Ji was not there, but he figured his mission was probably complete, so he started to leave with the bride. Give her a kiss before you go, Kei Xiao. Many people in the crowd jeered. With Kei Longchun present, no one dared to support Luo Kai. Yan Shunzhou suddenly stopped. You say kiss her now, why should I listen to you? But the bride held him back, surprising Yan Shunzhou. Shen Ji had mentioned that he really liked Kei Longchun. No way, is this for real? My first kiss is reserved for my wife. But thinking Shen Ji might be nearby, Yan Shunzhou decided to stall for time. As soon as he saw half of the face, he froze. Why is he here? Am I so nervous that I am hallucinating? When he finally saw Shen Ji's entire face, Yan Shunzhou completely lost his composure. Before he could react, Shen Ji took the initiative to wrap his arms around his neck and kissed him. The cross-dressing mafia assassin actually kissed him, the crown prince of the gang. Yan Shunzhou almost forgot to breathe. Shen Ji was kissing him. Suddenly, he felt something in his mouth. Yan Shunzhou frowned and pressed it against his back molars. Shen Ji leaned in and whispered in his ear. Deliver it to Butler's dormitory 301. Someone will meet you. Yan Shunzhou reported him. Aren't you coming with me? Shen Ji insisted on diverting the pursuers alone. He then pushed Yan Shunzhou away, who still managed to taunt Luo Kai as he was pushed. Angry, Luo Kai ordered his men to capture Jian Running. For the wedding crasher, Kei Longchun, he had to explain to the boss. Yan Shunzhou successfully handed over the chip he had in his mouth to the contact. But then he heard complaints at the stairwell. Isn't it ridiculous? Those dozens of bodyguards actually lost the bride. Yan Shunzhou did not expect them to sneak back to rest without finding her. Realizing his identity could not be exposed there, he turned and ran just as they were about to collide. Yan Shunzhou ran for his life, but the pursuers were relentless. What was worse, more and more people joined the chase. Suddenly, a pair of hands covered his mouth. Shen Ji had appeared behind him without him noticing. He quickly pulled him into the restroom. Being so close, Yan Shunzhou could not stay calm. Finally, blushing, he asked why he was pretending to be the bride. Shen Ji explained expressionlessly that since Jian Ruo never agreed to the wedding, he had been looking for an opportunity to escape. Luo Kai and those controlling him. I supported him to ensure the wedding continued. Cologne Chun could make a high-profile appearance, disrupt the situation, and obtain information about the recent anomalies related to the Celestial Book Society. Saying this, he looked at Yan Shunzhou with a hint of approval. You managed to find the real chapel on your own without any hints. Well done. Yan Shunzhou felt a bit embarrassed by the praise. Isn't it thanks to Mr. Shen's excellent teaching? After speaking, he felt a bit disappointed. It seems I should not have any extra thoughts about the internal matters. Suddenly, Shen Ji started taking off the wedding dress. Yan Shunzhou turned away in a fluster. What are you doing suddenly taking off your clothes? His reaction puzzled Shen Ji. It is in the way. What are you doing? Only then did Yan Shunzhou realize his awkwardness. Yeah, we are both men. What am I avoiding? But the atmosphere is just so weird. After Shen Ji finished changing clothes and came out, Yan Shunzhou's gaze instinctively fixed on his rosy lips. He could not help but reach out and touch them. Shen Ji frowned, and Yan Shunzhou hastily withdrew his hand in a panic. Your lipstick was not wiped off properly. It looked awkward. Shen Ji rarely smiles. His reaction is amusing. Yan Shunzhou Alliance transfers the body. Over here, I just memorized the layout of this building. The first floor is the underground garage. Shen Ji shows a momentary approving look again. His sense of direction and spatial memory are unexpectedly useful. But as soon as they reach the underground garage, Yan Shunzhou does not have time to show off. Several bullets shoot straight at them. Shen Ji quickly pushes him aside. He himself hides behind a nearby box. Neither of them expected this scene. The gunfire comes from multiple directions. These assassins are not from Luo Qi's inner circle. It means there are people other than Luo Kai who want us dead here. Yan Shunzhou is dying from blood loss and hypothermia. Shen Ji finally realizes his emotions belatedly. He is nervous, he is scared, worried that Yan Shunzhou might die. But amidst the chaotic attacks, Shen Ji holds Yan Shunzhou and dodges wave after wave. Yan Shunzhou does not understand why he is risking his life to protect him. I have already delivered the chip to the designated location. Now if you leave me behind, it would be easier for you to escape. Shen Ji's eyes turn red. He then stares intently at his face. You are an important wife. The gunfire continues incessantly, mixed with the voices of the enemy discussing. They are inside. Orders are to kill them, dead or alive. A bullet aims at the two from the door. Yan Shunzhou pushed him away, but his calf was hit by a bullet. Shen Ji's expressionless face finally showed some emotion. Yan Shunzhou was sweating in pain, but still asked Shen Ji first, "Are you okay?" Shen Ji quickly examined his calf. It is a through-and-through wound, did not hit any major arteries. You won't die. Yan Shunzhou cursed in pain. Shen Ji tore off a piece of fabric from his arm and quickly wrapped it around Yan Shunzhou's wound to stop the bleeding. For the first time, he felt nervous. Does it hurt a lot? Am I being too rough? But he could not help but ask, why at that distance? I could have dodged it. Yan Shunzhou was a bit surprised by the question. I do not know, my brain did not react in time. My body just moved on its own. It really hurts, TV shows lied to me. Shen Ji naturally could not understand. Suddenly, a humming sound came from above. Shen Ji's face darkened. The cold compressor has been remotely activated. They want to freeze us to death. Yan Shunzhou shivered from the cold, but he asked Shen Ji, are you cold, outside? An arrogant voice shouted, either open the door and get shot to pieces, or stay inside and turn into ice sculptures. Let us see how long you can last. Shen Ji touched Yan Shunzhou's face. With continuous blood loss and the cold, he was dying. Why go to this extent? Even with his consciousness fading, Yan Shunzhou's first thought was still of Shen Ji. Take my coat, I can hold on a bit longer. Shen Ji did not speak, but his hands holding Yan Shunzhou could not stop trembling. It was not because of the cold. Memories of Yan Shunzhou flashed through Shen Ji's mind. He was now certain. He was afraid. Afraid of Yan Shunzhou's death. An ordinary worker, afraid of death, actually took a bullet for a mafia hitman. Seeing Yan Shunzhou losing consciousness, Shen Ji had no choice but to force their way through to seek a slim chance of survival. Judging by the sounds, there were no fewer than 5 people outside, and they initially planned for a quick fight. But when Shen Ji opened the door, he found that all the gunmen were already dead. Shen Ji, with the barely conscious Yan Shunzhou, glanced at the bodies scattered on the ground. What were they doing? Youth is so fleeting. He collapsed, but it turns out he is still alive. Shen Ji quietly let out a sigh of relief. Sorry, they were a bit noisy. Then he saw Jian Ronning holding a silenced gun. Shen Ji was somewhat surprised it was Jian Ronning. Jian Ronning put away the gun and said, follow me, I have a way to get you out. Kei Xiao's injury can't wait. It must be treated first. Once they reached a safe room, Jian Ronning grabbed some medicine and explained, I was knocked out by Mr. Shen while resting. When I woke up, I found you were being chased, so I came to see if I could help. Suddenly, Shen Ji pressed hard on Yan Shunzhou's wound, causing him to instinctively kick out in pain. Shen Ji, however, remained expressionless and said, acting on your own will hurt even more than this. Jian Ronning chuckled softly, noticing that Kei Xiao was fine. Your entire demeanor has relaxed, Mr. Shen. Yan Shunzhou suddenly leaned closer to Shen Ji and said, "So you do care? Let me take a look." Because there were outsiders present, I could not act impulsively. Shen Ji had to step back. He cared deeply but avoided staring at Yan Shunzhou, who was having his wound treated. Shen Ji's gaze darkened. Just seeing him in trouble makes me agitated. Jian Ruoyan mentioned that there might be a small path that has not been blocked yet. Mr. Shen, could you check the situation to the west? While Shen Ji walked to the bedside and then to the window, Jian Ruoyan glanced at him out of the corner of his eye. Taking advantage of his unpreparedness, he pulled out a dagger and stabbed toward Yan Shunzhou. But Yan Shunzhou, sharp as ever, grabbed his wrist. Shen Ji quickly reacted, instantly locking Jian Ruoyan's neck in a chokehold. The two worked together, one in front and one behind, to subdue Jian Ruoyan. At this moment, Yan Shunzhou seemed to embody Ke Rongcheng himself, having learned a few tricks while by Luo Qi's side. It was disappointing. A cold-blooded and ruthless cleaner, he actually developed feelings for someone. And that someone was a bright and optimistic young man. But this young man was now being forced by him to become the heir of a gang, and was also compelled to clean up the mess left by the real heir. Jian Ruoyan said he wanted to kill Ke Rongcheng, but his hand holding the knife trembled. More than hatred, there was a sense of unwillingness. But Yan Shunzhou was not Ke Rongcheng. He wanted to find a chance to help Jian Ruoyan leave this chaotic place. So, he gave Shen Ji a meaningful glance. However, Shen Ji misunderstood his intention, so he directly made a move. "You can leave now," Yan Shunzhou said, speechless. "You are really going to be this forceful?" Feeling wronged, Jian Ruoyan started crying. "Ke Rong, did you never truly care about me?" Seeing that Shen Ji was about to knock her out, Yan Shunzhou quickly grabbed his wrist. "In front of me, when did you get to call the shots?" Shen Ji quickly considered Yan Shunzhou's intentions. "I understand, I was too presumptuous," he said, drawing a dagger from behind and handing the hilt to Yan Shunzhou. "Please, do it yourself." Yan Shunzhou was momentarily speechless. He had clearly asked him to release her. Jian Ruoyan, in a frenzy, shouted, "What are you waiting for? Come on, kill me." Yan Shunzhou had no choice but to play along. "Kill you? I should let you live and suffer," he said, touching Shen Ji's face with the dagger. But Shen Ji was unusually obedient today. "I am pleased," he said. "So, you have one chance. Get out of my sight." Jian Ruoyan broke out in a cold sweat. After glancing at the two of them, he slipped away without hesitation. Yan Shunzhou let out a sigh of relief but forgot about his legs. He tried to stand up on the water, lost his balance, and fell to the ground. Shen Ji helped him up. They were too close, so Yan Shunzhou scrambled to find a topic. He left, unsure if the interaction had gone well. Shen Ji, however, said he was being unnecessary. Yan Shunzhou had always thought Jian Running was just a girl being used. But Shen Ji looked up and said she was merely a loser in the rules of survival of the fittest. Yan Shunzhou disagreed. Who can guarantee they will always be on the strong side? Rules that do not protect the weak won't protect the strong either. Hearing this, Shen Ji looked up at him in stunned silence. Yan Shunzhou stared at his face and smiled. But Shen Ji, in his cold demeanor, thanked him for protecting those under his rules. Suddenly, Shen Ji's phone received a message their contact had arrived. Just when Yan Shunzhou thought it was all over, Shen Ji said it was not. He explained that Luo Kai did not have the ability or courage to act alone. There must be someone else behind the scenes. But for now, instead of dealing with the hidden enemy, Yan Shunzhou had to prioritize handling the gang leader. This mission earned praise from the other party. Yan Shunzhou took the opportunity to propose his own terms. "I want to use this as a stepping stone to negotiate with you. You sent Shen Ji to test my abilities. I have completed the first task and am confident I can do more. You just need to make a small concession to keep me loyal. My request is simple, to retain my life as Yan Shunzhou working and attending classes. It is a facade for the outside world and makes operations more convenient. Yan Shunzhou must do this. He needs to remind himself to leave this place." The gang leader just realized that Yan Shunzhou is not as easy to control as he thought. Shen Ji suddenly vouched for him. "Sir, I will keep an eye on him. Please rest assured." Yan Shunzhou was stunned. He did not expect Shen Ji to speak up for him. The gang leader finally spoke. "It is rare for you to vouch for someone. Since that is the case, you may go." Although he agreed, he still called Shen Ji when they were leaving. "This kid has changed a lot. Did you teach him? You are very loyal to this young lad." Shen Ji responded. Only then did the gang leader show a smile. "That is good. You know you and him are from two different worlds. Remember your identity, janitor." Knowing that Shen Ji is 7 years older than him, Yan Shunzhou worried that Shen Ji might find him childish. Would he mind the age difference? But little did he know, Shen Ji had already developed feelings for him. Otherwise, he would not have accompanied him to college. Even though he was just auditing classes, Yan Shunzhou was still happy, dancing around. Shen Ji saw him like a big puppy. Suddenly, Shen Ji was bumped by a student rushing to class. A short dagger suddenly fell, and Yan Shunzhou quickly picked it up. With his neck exposed, Shen Ji smiled and explained, "It is nothing." Classmate, you must have been seeing things. Shen Ji, however, looked completely unbothered. The short dagger is easy to conceal, unexpectedly effective against threats, and can even be useful for gathering information when necessary. Yan Shunzhou wiped the cold sweat off his forehead. Stop changing the subject. I have searched you thoroughly several times. Just how many of these do you have hidden? This all started a day ago. At that time, Shen Ji was in disguise, looking so stunning that Yan Shunzhou was momentarily dumbfounded. He even started to wonder, if Shen Ji was not from that world, would he look just like this? Suddenly, Shen Ji grabbed his wrist. What are you doing? Only then did Yan Shunzhou snap back to reality. This outfit really suits you, Shen Ji. We can seamlessly blend into the university now. After making up an excuse, Yan Shunzhou could not help but cheer himself on. Shen Ji's first reaction to being touched was defensive, but at least he did not break my wrist. That is a good start. Before heading to school, Yan Shunzhou did not forget to remind Shen Ji, no one at the school will recognize people from the underworld. Just say you are my cousin. Shen Ji, without any extra expression, replied, I am 27. This statement hit 20-year-old Yan Shunzhou hard. He grabbed Shen Ji's face. You are 7 years older than me, and your face is still this flawless. How do you even maintain it? With a serious expression, Shen Ji told him, I bathe in human blood every day. Yan Shunzhou's face instantly turned pale. Shen Ji then told him he was joking. Didn't you say college students like to joke around? Yan Shunzhou, annoyed, told him not to joke about things like that. While Shen Ji was packing, Yan Shunzhou could not help but sneak a glance. 7 years apart, would Shen Ji think I am childish? Would he mind the age difference? Soon, his thoughts were interrupted by the contents of Shen Ji's bag. Yan Shunzhou grabbed Shen Ji's wrist. What is this? Shen Ji answered expressionlessly, Beretta 92. Furious, Yan Shunzhou searched Shen Ji thoroughly, and a pile of weapons fell out. Mr. Shen, we are going to school, not to rob it. Shen Ji did not think he was wrong. You should know what we are really going to do. Within a week, 3 important halls of the Heavenly Book Society were taken down because the key members took a certain pill. The ingredients are unknown, but the effects are extremely strong. The source is a university chemistry lab. Capturing the mastermind behind it is our ultimate goal for this trip. Following Yan Shunzhou into the campus, Shen Ji saw an incredibly clear world, sunlight, noise, and the sensation of touch, vividly warm. It felt comforting. It was not bad, but someone on the second floor holding a coffee noticed them. Shen Ji immediately looked towards the window. Yan Shunzhou noticed him looking somewhere. What is wrong? But by then, the person at the window was gone.